All right, good evening, Mount Vernon. Today is December 23rd, 2025, and this should be the last city council meeting of the year. To open up the meeting for those in-house, if you have a cell phone, please go ahead and put it on vibrate or turn it off. If you need to take a call, please step out into the hallway. Also, with regard to any conversations in-house, please note that we can hear all conversations. So if you need to have a conversation, please step outside. We do have two exits inside of the city council chambers. One is in the back behind the pews, to my left, to your right, and one is the double doors right in front of the dais. If you go outside of either exit and make a right, there's going to be a staircase on your right-hand side that'll take you down to the ground level if an emergency shall occur. Or if you go straight out the double doors and go straight ahead, there's going to be a main staircase on the right-hand side. By that main staircase is the men's restroom, if anyone needs to use it. And if you go out of this double doors, make a right, there's going to be a woman's restroom. I think I covered all the housekeeping. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll give Councilman Potteet the honor.
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Councilman Gleason, you have a little bit of a delay, just as a FYI as we go on. We have public speakers today. So just so everyone knows, public speakers receive 4 minutes to speak. There is a clock indicating your time in front. When you get up, please state your name and address for the record, and then you can go ahead and speak. At the end of every speaker, the council members will respond. So there won't be individual responses to each speaker, as an FYI. As folks get up to talk, please be mindful not to talk or to talk to them as they're talking to the council. And we can go ahead and get started. I'm going to go through the list of names. Miss Cynthia Crenshaw, is she online? I don't see her in house. Not online. I'll come back to her. Miss Dina Perriello. Come on. Thank you. Our deputy clerk will come retrieve them from you. Is the mic on? Can you put the mic on for her, deputy clerk?
Testing.
There we go.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Oh, you can have them now? Sure. So I have two sets. One is for me, if you could timestamp it that I submitted my documents and okay, that's fine. These are all for you. There are 5 individual stacks. Thank you. And then I guess I can come down tomorrow and you can timestamp these? Okay, no problem. Hi, everyone. Oh, I would like this gentleman to be paying attention. So can you stop the clock?
Thank you.
Do I now have everyone's attention? Thank you. Good evening. I am Dina Perriello, 15 North Street, Mount Vernon, New York. My home, one of the earliest houses constructed at the corner of North Fifth Avenue and North Street in the late 1800s, is a historic gem. For more than a century, my family has built a legacy within its walls, creating over 100 years of irreplaceable memories. I am here again tonight because I want the public to witness your profound and egregious disregard for me, my property, and my status as a taxpaying resident of this city. And I want the public to fully examine the complete record of communications, including my extensive and meticulously documented timeline dating back to February of 2019. Because corruption festers in darkness, I am making the entirety of this matter public, including all documentation related to the illegal 54 apartment building permanently affixed to my property line. I have 5 separate stacks I just mentioned to be entered into the official record. Over the course of this ordeal, I have spoken with every elected and appointed official involved. None of you helped me, and everyone failed. Most recently, I again attempted to reach out to Congressman George Latimer, and I submitted a formal letter to District Attorney Susan Cacase. Neither of these elected officials have given me the courtesy of substantive response. Both of those letters are also submitted. You have copies now. Each of you is individually and collectively responsible for the approval and erection of this illegal structure. You have all admitted to me it should never have been approved, and yet it was. Ms. Caitlin Gleason, you have repeatedly stated that you possess emails proving you attempted to stop the building from being constructed. You have personally told me that the building needs to come down. Despite this, you now expect me to bear the financial burden of your gross incompetence. You intend to use taxpayer dollars to litigate against me in order to defend your own wrongdoing. This will not happen. It's not going to happen. I will stop at nothing until accountability is imposed. I will stop at nothing until each of you publicly acknowledges your misconduct. And you continue to compound your mistakes, including the most recent temporary certificate of occupancy issued for Lot 3 only, as well as the unlawful consolidation of 3 separate lots on the tax roll without proper zoning approval. The TCO must be rescinded immediately. A formal meeting must be convened in council chambers with City Council, Corporation Council, the building, and the architect to address my demands and determine how I will be made whole. Mr. Andre Wallace here this evening has publicly committed to making this issue a priority once he is sworn in. And I reminded Ms. Cynthia Turnquest, I thought she was also going to be here, that she will soon take an oath to serve and protect, an obligation that each of you has thus far utterly failed to uphold. You are now required to answer to me in this public forum on the record. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go to the next speaker, which is Miss Brenda Crump. I don't see her in-house. Is she online? Okay, we'll come back to her. Next up, I have Miss Barbara Ortiz Howard. She's online. Miss Howard, you would need to unmute yourself. We can't hear you. They're going to send you a notification next time you turn. There we go. You can go ahead, Miss Howard.
Good evening, council members. Thank you for this opportunity to address you. I don't have prepared remarks. Many things have come rather quickly and suddenly to my attention of a pretty grievous situation for us with regard to taxes on our property at 16 South Second Avenue. In 2020, during COVID, I had reached out and there was some amount that was due. We were supposed to get an agreement. The agreement did not happen in 2023. I came back and I was told, keep current with your payments and then we will get you a plan. No plan was forthcoming. And, now all of a sudden I'm faced with signing a pretty egregious agreement. And if I don't, it's going to be sold for tax lien. And I've been here for 40 years and, I've struggled deeply to meet the tax obligations that I've had. And this is the first time that this has occurred in this way. And I'm just asking that you continue to encourage the tax commissioner to look at how I could get an amnesty because, the tax quadrupled. Had I known, and I wouldn't have kept current, I would have paid the old, but I kept current. So I fell behind. And now I'm pretty much ready to give you the keys. And I don't think you really want this property because it's not very attractive. But it is home for people where we charge a really minimal amount of rent, $1,200 for a 3-bedroom apartment. There are 3 apartments that are rentable. And it's just the math ain't mathing over there. So I just appreciate whatever you can do to look at I'm sure I'm not the only one in this kind of tax pain, and it's only going to grow in the coming years. So I think that this was a clerical bunch of errors that occurred where, the plan was coming, there was changing of administration, of different controllers, of different things, and we fell through the cracks and never got a repayment plan. And now, my interest is 4 times what it would have been. So I appreciate your help in looking at this. Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna move on to Mr. Henry Wilson.
Good evening, members of the City Council.
Evening.
I want to first thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak before you this evening. I really appreciate it. But before I begin, I want to mention that I know that the City of Mount Vernon and the City School District operate separately, independent of one another. However, out of respect for your positions as City Council members and as a courtesy to you personally, I thought it only be fitting that I address you collectively. For those of you that know me, you know that I love my community. I've been blessed in my adult life career to work in some really remarkable leadership positions in several communities in Westchester County, where I've had a direct effect, positive impact on the lives of so many, whether serving as the Associate Director of Programs at the Carver Center in Portchester or as the Director of Homeless Adult Men's Services in White Plains, and eventually landing back in Mount Vernon as the Deputy Director of the former Mount Vernon Family YMCA. The joy and satisfaction I get when I see the positive impact I've had on a person's life, no matter their race, religion, age, or economic status, is more satisfying than receiving a paycheck. And although I've achieved a level of success at every stop along the way, I am not a self-serving individual. Nothing gives me more satisfaction than serving my community. I bleed maroon and gold. I'm here to share my thoughts, vision, if you will, on what should become of the three closed school buildings that occurred last June. The creation of a community-wide comprehensive community center should be seriously considered. For years, this is something that I've been advocating for. A full-service comprehensive community center whereby accredited, certified, and fully licensed community-based organizations with a track record of success and sustainability will bring their unique brand of services to serve a diverse population of residents under one roof, providing space for early child care, thriving after-school summer camp, teen development programs, services for children with special needs, medical and mental health care, arts and recreation, intergenerational programming, vocational education, and computer literacy training hubs, and potentially so much more. According to multiple reports, student enrollment is expected to take a dramatic drop over the next few years. This is unfortunate and is in no way reflective of the current school board administration, but possibly poor planning of those who sat before them. Nonetheless, it's not about the one thing, it's about all things that affect this great city. Additional abandoned buildings in Mount Vernon, something that I've talked about also in this body, is not what's needed. The possibility of longer service hours, Saturday morning programs, etc., will lend to the forward thinking that this city is capable of achieving as a jewel of Westchester. Communities around the country and this county are realigning their time, energy, and resources to this adaptive model, including the city of White Plains under the great leadership of Commissioner Frank Williams. My ask to you this holiday season, council members, if you honestly think this is a good idea, share your sentiments with your colleagues at the school board and let them know how you feel. Some of you have had privilege to see this draft, and this is still a draft in the making of the vision of a community-wide comprehensive center. Thank you.
I'll say that on the mic. Has Miss Cynthia Crenshaw joined us online? Yes, no, Deputy Clerk? All right, and how about Ms. Brenda Crump? All right, we're gonna move into council responses. I'll go ahead and start with Mr.
You signed up at 3:40. No, you did not. You received the email saying you could speak at the next meeting. Cutoff time is 3 o'clock.
Council members, would you let, Miss, could you please? Ma'am, could you be quiet before I have you escorted out, please? Thank you. Council members, what is your pleasure? Would you like to move into comments or would you, like,
Yeah, I have no issue.
go ahead. I didn't hear you.
I have no issues.
No issues? Mr. Jeff Monroe, you can come up.
Thank you for your time and your graciousness, council members. For the record, my name is Jeff Monroe. I'd like to speak to the issue brought to the council last night in the way of the item that the resolution, let me find it in the record. It's essentially the resolution to retroactively enter into agreement with Motorola retroactively from July of 2025 into June 2026. More concerning to the resolution is the proposition to consider this other pitch for the Brink or the Brink and DFR drone as first responder program, which apparently seems like a luxury item to abut the AI enabled and whatever other electronic surveillance system makes for the aware room that we call it. I first find problematic that the aware room has been built out, and yes, it was promoted almost a decade ago as the emergency management center. I understand most urban centers have these things around the United States, but it's never been really explained to the public in a transparent fashion as to what this mechanism is, as opposed to just being sold as a safety element. I think those kind of pitches are over in 2025. I think selling safety, quote unquote, especially the Black communities in 2025 is tantamount to really pretending that the war on drugs didn't happen. And most of us know, if you've read any proper books and documentaries, and I know people still make these straw man arguments about what actually, happens in poor communities and what drugs really mean, et cetera. Fighting crime has been a war on Black people and writ large poor people for at least the last 30 to 40 years. The new language for that is to sell safety under the aegis of protecting against crime. We're selling safety through cameras. We're selling safety through AI. We're selling safety through all kind of metadata type of language and industrial solutions, quote unquote, because none of these solutions are actually solutions, by the way. They're still field tested. Many of them are in beta phase in terms of their own marketability, but they're still being marketed. Corporations themselves are arguing in their boardroom meetings, not in the public, of course, but they're arguing as to the effectiveness and marketability and possible liability of some of these AI-enabled systems. But nevertheless, here we are listening to Motorola, of all industries, a defense contractor that is the same one that puts Motorola on the side of Coach's headphones that are actually RTX or Clearcom headphones, but Motorola puts their name on the side of the headphones to promote their name. So you think they're wearing a Motorola headset. That's the kind of corporation you want to put money in the pocket of? Well, if you have the amoral or immoral kind of motivations to do that, I would propose you not do it in this community. I would propose that you motivate yourself a little more deeply to investigate what it really takes to put drones in the air, whether it's one or two, whatever the pitch is. Sell us a little more definitively what it means to have flying surveillance items moving around the city and what it really means to look forward in the future and even understand what that means. What's next? Are you going to have a system where you have flying guns around? Yes, many of these drones are armed in many battle spaces around the world, especially Israel. More importantly, are these systems really going to keep people safe, or are they just going to make metadata currency for Motorola? Because that's really what these systems do. They fly around, they do face scans. These high resolution cameras are no longer HD or even 4K. They're 8K, 12K, maybe 16K, so that you can get facial data and metadata for sale. So please don't make our population another, commodification. Please do a little more diligence and explain to us what we're benefiting, and not just in the aegis of safety. Thank you.
Ms. Monroe. All right. All right, we're gonna move into council responses. Gonna start with Councilman Box Hill.
Good evening, everyone. Apologize for my tardiness. Our first speaker, Dina Perillo, I'm sorry. Perriello, apologize. I did not hear, I just got the very tail end of it, but I'm gonna let my council members address your concerns. Mr. Henry Wilson, it's a pleasure having you here. Thank you for your great work that you do in the city, and yeah, I definitely would like to see your project get some traction, so I'll be tuning in to see. Mr. Monroe, thank you again for always coming. You always have some insight. Appreciate it. And definitely you can get an update as far as what actually happens in the aware room. You're a citizen, you're entitled to get a breakdown, so we can reach out to PD to get an explanation of the ins and out of the aware room. All right. I think those are all my comments for right now. Oh,
Thank-
and Mrs. Howard, yeah, she had some particular, she said she had a particular situation with her taxes. So I guess we definitely have to know the details of what exactly her particular issues are. So we're gonna work with her in the controller's office. I mean, but there is gonna be another amnesty, and you should definitely look into taking advantage of that as well. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Gleason, would you like to provide comment or,
Yeah, sure.
okay.
First and foremost, Ms. Perriello, I expect that your issue will be litigated, so I'm not going to comment. Ms. Howard, I encourage you to work with the comptroller's office to see what can be done. I don't know if your tax was liened, if it was sold or not, or if it's in the process. Maybe we could delay it until we can come up with something with the comptroller's office. And Henry, obviously, I think this is a great idea, a great use of property that will stay dormant. And obviously, I'll be an advocate for you. Mr. Monroe, thank you so much again for always being engaged, especially when it comes to the electronics. Your questions are very valid, and I look forward to working with you to see if we can get some answers to your questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilman Thompson?
Yes, first I'd like to say to Ms. Perriello, I have to read through these documents that you gave us, and I'll reach out to you to give you a full response. Also, Miss Barbara Howard, I'm not sure what's going on with your property, but I'll reach out to the comptroller's office and see where we are with that. Mr. Wilson, I met with you, and I think that what you have presented is a great idea. It's a great idea for the children in this community, and hopefully we'll get some movement on that and see what comes of it. So we would definitely I know I would advocate for you because I know it's a great idea. Mr. Monroe, I know you know a lot about electronics, so we will be looking in further with Motorola possibilities and things to come regarding electronics throughout the city. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Potteet?
Thank you, Council President. I'll go backwards first. Mr. Monroe, thank you for your comments. Thank you for always keeping us informed as to what's happening out there. But I do want to talk about the drones that we may move forward with. What PD is looking to do is to have a one-year pilot period. and no cost to the city. The reason why that's important is I sincerely hope, I won't be on council next year, but I sincerely hope that you come back in a year, because by then we'll have real information. And we'll know if it did do a good job of fighting crime, great that we got the drones. If it turns out that our crime rates are still the same, and to your point, this is a way to collect data, then please come back so that we can then figure out after that 1 year free pilot period, if this does make sense.
Councilman Potteet, can I ask you to pull the mic a little bit closer?
Oh, sure,
Thank you.
sure can. Sure can. Mr. Wilson, thank you for coming here. As Councilwoman Gleason said, turning one of the vacant schools into a community center makes a lot of sense. Having vacant properties, more vacant properties in our city doesn't make sense, as you mentioned. I would humbly ask for you to think about two things. One, obviously the capital raise that you need. But a lot of nonprofits, even when they get that right, the ongoing cash flow needed for the operations may be somewhat tricky, because there's such a rush and energy to just raise the capital to get the thing done that there's not a lot of thought about year 2, year 3, and year 4. So I would humbly ask, as you move forward, and it's important for the city that you're successful in this, that you don't just get it opened, but that it stays open.
Mr. Wilson, I'm sorry. All right, Mr. Wilson, I apologize.
Ms. Howard, as Councilman Boxell said, there's an amnesty period, so you should take advantage of that. And Ms.
Perriello.
Perriello, thank you, and I'm sorry. And I have a rough last name too, so I'm sorry for butchering it. As Councilwoman Gleason said, this will be litigated, so I defer to Corporation Counsel on next steps. Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Potteet. Ladies, please stop talking in the council chambers. All right, so I'll start with Ms. Gina Perriello. Ms. Perriello, I know in your comments you said that you spoke to each of us. I haven't had a conversation with you. And that 2019 approval, that was before this current council. So I'm not sure if it came before the city council, if it was before a land use board, or who it was before, but it wasn't from the city council, at least while I was here. So I'm not exactly, I know the gripe is about the property being built on your property line. I'm not quite sure how it happened. I know you've had some conversations with Councilwoman Gleason, but as Councilwoman Gleason mentioned, if it is in litigation, I'll save the conversation for Corporation Counsel. In addition to that, Ms. Howard, the council members have mentioned, we just approved an additional amnesty program. So I'm not, I know you said the option that you were presented with was to give you for you to sign an egregious agreement. So I'm not exactly sure when that agreement was presented to you, or even what your address is. So if you can shoot me an email with your address and your contact information, I can give you a call tomorrow and come into City Hall and go to the comptroller's office on your behalf to see exactly what the situation is and what options you do have. As council members mentioned, there is a tax lien, so I'm not sure if your property has been one of the property sold through the tax lien process or not, but I can help figure that out and see what options there are for you. But when it comes to the payment plans that the city is allowed to offer, those are statutory, right? So they're based on what the state allows us to do. So if it's a recent plan that is allowing you to not pay the interest, that may be what the controller is tied to, but I can check on that. My email address is dbrown, and Brown has an E at the end of it. So that's DBROWNE at CMVNY for city, Mount Vernon, New York.com. And you can get it from the website if they went too quickly for you. or you can give me a call in the office and it'll come to my cell phone. Be happy to help you before the holidays. Mr. Monroe, thank you for coming in. So some of the things that you mentioned, about the drone program, I mean, I don't agree with you. All right. I think that the drone program can be handy for a lot of reasons. And it's not just about solving crime. I think it's about, we have neurodivergent people in our community, and sometimes we need to be able to locate them. I think we have folks who suffer from dementia and other things that the drone could assist with, right? We talked in the presentation yesterday, Motorola talked about being able to assist with heat imaging if there's a fire, to identify if there are people inside of a building. I think these are benefits, especially to the city of Mount Vernon, who is low on personnel in the police department, to be able to utilize this technology to advance our response and have the correct response, right? So, I think you're definitely entitled to your opinion. I think, sure, corporations and big companies do sell data. If that's something that can be limited from the city standpoint, I hope that Corporation Counsel's office will do that. But I do think that it has significant benefits. And if it's true that we don't have any additional benefit from the drone program, I think, as Councilman said, we have 30 days before the contract expires to choose not to utilize it. And it's a cost, it's free of cost to the city, right? And I think that's tremendous, especially in a cash-strapped city where we can't afford to build out infrastructure and do things of that nature. So I think it definitely could be beneficial to the city in many more ways than one. So I appreciate your coming out. I appreciate you for coming out and your comments. Mr. Wilson, I did meet with you previously. We talked about the project. I think it's amazing, right? I think it'll be a great use of the buildings. I think it'll be maintained for the youth. I think that's what the schools were there for. And I think repurposing it will absolutely be beneficial to the kids in the community. I'm only on council for, I think, 8 to 7 more days. And however else I could support you in this role, I'm happy to do so. But I do think we need youth buildings for across the city, not just, I know we have the Boys and Girls Club and they hope to move, but I think we need places on the north side, in the middle of the city, on the south side. I think that's the way to give youth an opportunity. As you know, and you coach my brother, sports is what kept me doing what I need to do. And I think the programs that YCOP and you all offer to the children is much needed. So however I can support you, I absolutely want to be able to do that. All right. Any additional comments, thoughts, questions from the council members before we move on to the tally sheet? All good? All right. So for those who want to make an exit, we'll pause a little bit. We're going to move into the tally sheet and then go into the agenda. All right, and we're still live, right? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start with legislation and public works. Councilwoman Gleason, do you want to do it, or would you like your co-chair to cover it?
No, I'm okay to do it.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Item number 1, Public Works, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a request for qualifications for professional consultant services for the 4th Street Park Green Infrastructure, RFQ 2025, RFQ-001 on the agenda. Item number 2, Public Works, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the implementation of a nighttime commercial waste collection program effective January 2026. That's on the agenda. Item number 3, City Clerk, City Council Local Law number of 2025, a local law amending Article 7-A 86-B of the Mount Vernon City Charter regarding the composition of the Capital Projects Board. That is called for. Item number 4, City Council, City Clerk, local law number of 2025, a local law amending Article 4 of the Mount Vernon City Charter to require periodic review of all exempt job titles. That is on the agenda. Item number 5, City Council, local law number of 2025, a local law amending Article 7-A, 86-B of the Mount Vernon City Charter to codify the positions of Chief of Staff and Deputy Chief of Staff within the office of the mayor. That is called for. Item number 6, City Council, City Clerk, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, authorizing electronic delivery of a proposed local law. That is all. I have no add-ons, Madam President.
Thank you very much, Councilman Gleason. Any question for legislation and public works? All right, for the corporation, assistant corporation counsel, if you can just clarify for me, number 2, the legislation, whether or not mixed-use neighborhoods are excluded. And the reason that I'm asking is my concern is that we currently have private carters who are picking up during the evening or the morning 2 a.m. hours, and it's causing issues for residents. So I would hate for the city to move in the same direction. So I want to make sure that it absolutely avoids all residential areas, whether they're in a mixed-use neighborhood or not. If you can confirm that for me, I will be happy to support. If not, I'll be unable to. All right, going to move on to public safety and codes.
Thank you, Council President. Item number 7 from the Mayor's Office, an ordinance authorizing a 6-month extension of the separation date and continuation of city contributed health benefits for Officer Derek Williams is on the agenda. Item number 8 from Public Safety, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a retroactive renewal agreement with Motorola Solutions, Inc. for the installation of fixed video equipment and the provision of related services for the period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 is on the agenda. Item number 9 from City Council, local law amending the vehicle and traffic law and the public officer law in relation to authorizing the City of Mount Vernon to establish a school speed zone demonstration program. That is on the agenda, and I do have a question, which is I was expecting to see an add-on for the drone legislation. Okay, not a problem. Thank you. Thank you. And that's all I have from public safety.
So I'm assuming that add-on is on the agenda?
Yes,
All right, awesome.
I sure can. I sure can. Item number 15, from Public Safety, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Motorola Solutions for the drone as a first responder. And that will be on the agenda. Thank you, guys.
And me.
Awesome.
So on the tally, wouldn't that be a different number? Because on the tally right now, on the agenda, so that was just because, on the
So the
agenda.
tally number, Councilman Gleason, the tally number isn't what's important, it's what's on the
Okay.
agenda. So as long
Okay.
as the
Yeah,
separate
I
number.
understand that we're not bringing other stuff to the agenda, so I guess that's how it moved to 15. All right, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to finance and planning.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
Number 10, a resolution of the City Council of City of Mount Vernon, New York, requesting the introduction of state legislation authorizing the correction of delinquent taxes and interest for 22 Brookfield Road. That's on the agenda. 11, a resolution of the City Council of City of Mount Vernon, New York, authorizing home rule requests for state legislation to correct the property classification and delinquent taxes and interest for 40 North 10th Avenue. That's on the agenda. 12, resolution City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, requesting the introduction of state legislation authorizing the correction of delinquent taxes and interest for 17 East Grand Street. That is on the agenda. 13, a resolution of the City Council of City of Mount Vernon, New York, requesting the introduction of state legislation authorizing the correction of delinquent taxes and interest for 58 West 7th Street. That's on the agenda. And 14, local law to amend tax law in the City of Mount Vernon. That's on the agenda. And 15, local law of City of Mount Vernon, amending the tax law to increase tax on deeds. That is on the agenda. Also, 16 is being called for. That's a local law authorizing the amendment of the city charter regarding the budget schedule. And the add-on, number 17, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter retroactive into a renewal lease agreement with West Help for city-owned property located 230 and 240 South Franklin Avenue. That is on the agenda. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Box Hill. Any questions or comments for finance and planning?
Madam President?
Councilwoman Gleason?
I think it's important to mention that item number 11, 12, 13, and 14. Just to be clear, all 4 of those were because there were errors in their, the way they were listed on the tax roll, correct?
She wanted to be clear that the reason that those are on the agenda is because they're listed incorrectly in the tax roll. He said, Councilman Box Hill said correct?
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, most of these are like religious institutions that were tax exempt, but were incorrectly being on the tax roll, so it's being
Okay,
corrected.
I just wanted to make sure the public understood that. Thank you.
Any additional comments, questions for finance and planning? All right, we're gonna move into the legislative session. Can we have a roll call, please, clerk?
Yes, thank you. Councilman Box Hill,
Present?
Councilwoman Goodson,
Here and remote?
thank you. Councilman Potteet,
Present.
Councilman Thompson,
Here.
Council President Brown.
Here, legislation and public works.
Thank you, Madam President. Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a request for qualifications for professional consulting services for the Fort Street Park Green Infrastructure, RFQ 2025-RFQ-001. So moved.
Second?
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Item number 2, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the implementation of a nighttime commercial waste collection program effective January 2026. So moved.
Second?
On the question, Corporation Counsel, did you have opportunity to confirm?
I did not.
Okay, we're gonna move on to a roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Like some of my fellow council members, I do have some questions about this, particularly this legislation. I read the letter, I read the resolution as well, but I just wanted to dive a little deeper into how the ins and outs of this program. And even being the co-chair, this is kind of like, I felt like there should have been a discussion about this with the department before. And I just don't feel like I know enough, so I'm going to abstain from voting on this.
So before we vote it down, should we just hold it on the floor? Because it doesn't sound like it has the support to pass tonight. So should we hold it on?
Madam President, I'd like to hold it on the floor, please. Because
Okay, well,
I also feel like we need a deeper discussion.
Okay, so can I actually have a motion to withdraw the initial motion that moved it?
I'll make a motion to withdraw.
Second, roll call.
And this is the roll call to remove the motion. Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye. All right, so this item is going to be held on the floor. Councilwoman Gleason, you can continue.
Item number 3, City Council Local Law Number of 2025, a local law amending Article 4 of the Mount Vernon City Charter to require a periodic review of all exempt job titles. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason.
Aye.
Can you repeat that?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Item number 4, City Council, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, authorizing electronic delivery of a proposed local law. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye. All right, thank you, Councilwoman Gleason. I'm assuming you don't have an add-on. We're gonna move on to, how is it possible you didn't have any items, human resources?
Sounds like you hate them.
We're gonna move on to public safety and codes.
Thank you, Council President. Item number 5 from the Mayor's Office, an ordinance authorizing a 6-month extension of the separation date and continuation of the city contributed health benefits for Officer Derek Williams. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
On the question, I would just like to say I'm glad this is working out for Officer Williams. And I'm prayerful that they get everything worked out on his behalf so he can have a nice retirement and everything works in his favor. That's all. Thank you.
Madam
Thank
President,
you.
may I?
Sure. Yes, Councilwoman Gleason.
I just wanted to clarify something on the record that I read on social media, that this situation was brought to my attention while I was public safety chair. I want to be very clear that kidney disease is very important to me. My mother-in-law passed away from it. One of my best friends suffered from it. If this was ever brought to my attention, I would have acted on it immediately.
Thank you. Any additional comments from the council? All right, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Absolutely, aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Item number 6 from Public Safety, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a retroactive renewal agreement with Motorola Solutions, Inc. for the installation of fixed video equipment and the provision of related services for the period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Item number 7 from City Council, local law of 2025, amending the vehicle and traffic law and the public officer law in relation to authorizing the city of Mount Vernon to establish a school speed zone demonstration program. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Item number 15, it's an add-on from Public Safety. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Motorola Solutions for a drone as a first responder. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
I have one question, which is we confirmed, and sorry for not asking this during the tally sheet, we confirmed that the Rockland contract was bidded?
There's another contract, Sourcewell. So Sourcewell is a contract that we could piggyback on. So the contract it's confirmed that it's there. They sent over the contract number and everything.
Got it. And just for the record, again, and I really do want to stress that this is a benefit for the city. It is a free program, as Council President said, for a cash-strapped city that deals with crime probably more than any other city in Westchester County. I'm hopeful that this works, but bigger than that, if it doesn't work, we have a process to make sure that we aren't stuck with this contract going forward. That's all I have to say.
Madam
Thank you,
President?
Councilman Gleason.
Yes, I echo what Councilman Potteet is saying. The one thing that I want to say on the record is I just want to encourage the police department from now until the next year. I would like to have funding in place to continue this program if it ends up being a good corrective service here for the city of Mount Vernon. So from day one of approving this, I want to make sure that the police department is on board with looking into other resources to pay for this program.
And just as a note, I had a conversation with the mayor earlier, and she is already seeking the funding just in case that this program works for the city. So just to comment on your concern, Councilman Gleason. Councilman Thompson?
Yes, I just would like the police department to also give a report out. If we can get a quarterly report out to see how it's actually affecting the community, how it's working out for us, and if it's going to be beneficial, so they should see that within the first 2 to 3 months. So hopefully we can get a report that comes before the new council, and we can start preparing ourselves to either accept it going forward for the term, or just say we don't want it. And that report out will definitely help us with that. That's all.
I see that the Madam Mayor is online. And she has some brief comments that she wanted to share. Maybe not. Madam Mayor, going once, going twice, sold to the roll call.
Actually, I have one other just very quick comment. Is it possible for the city clerk's office to flag this date? One of my fears is that in the new council, they'll be very busy like we are. All right. So I want to make sure everyone's mindful that we're in December. Come November, that we're flagging this and making sure that there's a tickler somewhere where it pops up that we should be hearing from PD about this contract.
I mean,
Could I challenge you
Please.
to challenge the Corporation Counsel's office to keep mind of these contract dates so that that's not an additional responsibility for the city clerk?
Indeed.
Sure.
I would redirect to Corporation Council to flag November 15th as a date that you should come back to the new council and let them know that they should be looking at this.
I would even say November 1st, because if we're doing it, give it a little bit more time.
yeah, I mean, Councilman Thompson is correct. The onus is going to be on us to really be on top of this, to see if this is really beneficial for the city, and if it's working efficiently. And this is something that, because it's going forward, it's not going to be cheap, but if it could save dollars in the long run. It could make our city safer, and it could, some of the benefits that President Brown mentioned. But yeah, I don't want to wait until November of next year to have that conversation. We should be getting periodic reports as updates as what's happening, how we're utilizing this, and what the benefits are. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Looks like you're off mute. You can go ahead.
Yes, very briefly, I think the date to be flagged would be the date that the contract is actually enacted. We have to do installation, so it should be from the 11 months from the installation date. And then additionally, just to confirm what you said, Council President Brown, I did have a conversation to secure funding for this initiative going forward for the 5 years at the cost of $399,000. And it is now a matter of paperwork. The person was quite excited to be able to fund a public safety initiative. So we will proceed with the paperwork and make a formal announcement of that funding once the paperwork is completed.
Awesome. Any additional comments, questions? Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye. Thank you, Councilman Potteet. We're gonna move on to finance and planning. Actually, Councilman Box Hill, would you mind if we actually took items 8, 9, 10, and 11 as a block vote? All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion
Um,
to take 8, 9, 10, and 11 as a block vote.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
All right, 8, resolution of City Council of City of Mount Vernon, New York, requesting the enactment of special legislation, retroactive grant of a real property exemption and cancellation of delinquent taxes and accrued interest for Westchester Muslim Center located at 22 Brookfield Road. So moved.
Second.
Roll call? Oh, sorry. Actually, you gotta keep reading through.
No, it was just odd because
Yeah, keep going through the other
different
numbers.
from the wording from the tally sheet. All right. Number 9, a resolution of the City Council of City of Mount Vernon, New York, authorizing home rule requests for state legislation to correct the property classification and delinquent taxes and interest for 40 North 10th Avenue. 10, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Vernon, New York, requesting enactment of special legislation and the municipal home rule law in relation to the retroactive grant of a real property tax exemption and cancellation of delinquent tax and interest for Emmanuel Evangelical Lutheran Church, 17 East Grand Street. And 11, a resolution of the City Council of City of Mount Vernon, New York, requesting the enactment of special legislation authorizing the retroactive grant of tax exemption and the cancellation of delinquent taxes and accrued interest for Asbury Methodist Church located at 58 West 7th Street, Mount Vernon. So moved.
Second.
On a question?
Madam
Roll
President?
call?
Madam President?
Councilman Gleason?
Yeah, on item number 8, there were multiple spelling errors within where it didn't say Muslim, it said Muslin. I just want to make sure that that's corrected. And I don't know if that's because that's on the tax roll as that or, but I saw multiple misspellings on that.
Councilman Box Hill, can you take a look at the legislation to let us know if those typos are in the actual legislation, please?
Muslim spelled correctly.
All right, any additional?
Okay, it might have been just the letters then.
Okay. All right, roll call?
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason, Oh, say that.
Yeah, can you do that again, please, Councilman Gleason?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Well,
Number 12, a local law to amend the tax law in the city of Mount Vernon, New York. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Hotel motel tax, by the way.
All right, roll call?
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason,
Aye.
Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
All right, number 13, a local law of the city of Mount Vernon, New York, amending the tax law to increase tax on deeds. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call?
Councilman Box Hill, Councilwoman Gleason.
Aye.
Repeat that, please.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
All right, add on and number 14, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter in retroactive into a renewal lease agreement with West Health for city-owned property located at 230 and 240 South Franklin Avenue. So moved.
Second.
On the question? There, Councilwoman Gleason? All right, hearing none, roll call?
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason.
Aye.
One more time.
I wish you guys could hear how loud I'm screaming that. Aye.
Thank you. Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson,
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye. All right, council members, council member elects. Would anyone like to say anything?
Yes.
All right, council. I'm gonna give Councilman Potteet the last word. So Councilwoman Gleason, you can go ahead.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Council President Brown and Council Member Potteet for the last 4 years. I'm going to speak about both of you. Councilman Potteet, you've definitely taught me a lot. You taught me about how not to let go of a bone. When your head was strong, your head was strong, and we had to stop and listen. So I want to thank you for the last 4 years of your time on the city council, and I look forward to seeing you in private life or maybe another position along the way. Council President Brown. Well, it's very hard to keep up with you, first of all. When you're campaigning and you have your head ready to do something, you get it done and you don't let anything get in your way. You've definitely taught me a lot about researching, reading, going over things 2 or 3 times to make sure they're accurate. Also pointing out things that maybe I wouldn't have seen. I definitely thought coming into this, I knew a lot more than actually sitting in the position. But you've definitely taught me different ways on how to be a good council person and to be engaged with the public even more than I already am. So I wanted to wish you the best of luck going into your city judgeship. I am very, very proud of you, and I look forward to seeing the changes that you will make in the city of Mount Vernon. God bless you both and good luck.
I'm gonna say something, so.
No, you can't talk.
Mhm.
Councilman Thompson.
Yes, I wanna say to, the community, thank you for, riding with us this last year. It has been a rough year, but it's been a productive year. I wanna say to Councilman Potteet and Council President, Daniel Brown, y'all have been a joy to work with. It was just a pleasure. I've been on this council for January will be 7 years. And it has been a pleasure working with the council. Instead of bringing our problems to the courthouse, we brought them to the table and hashed them out. We didn't always agree on things. We disagreed on some things, but we weren't disagreeable. And that was a pleasure to make sure that we're doing the very best for our community. So I thank you both for that. I look to support each of you in your endeavors, whatever that may be. And I'm just so proud of the work that we were all able to accomplish together. And I look forward to working along with our council person-elects, because I know that they are eager to continue the great work that we need to do for this city. So let's continue to work together. And I appreciate when we can get out of our own way and do what's best for our community. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilman
I think-
Boxell.
I think I was the first person to ask to speak, and
Oh, I'm
ended
so
up-
sorry. I
I
didn't
ended up being the
see.
last, but it's all right. You know, no, I didn't know Ed before this, and Councilman Potteet, and definitely it's been a pleasure working with him. Learned a lot. He's my go-to guy when I don't know something about planning and development, and no question is too dumb for him to take the time to explain. And that working with him for 2 years, I consider Councilman Potteet a friend now. So thank you. Thank you for your service to the city. Pleasure. Council President Brown. There's a lot to say about Council President Brown. Very strong-headed, She definitely believes in what she believes in, and it's important to have strong leadership, and she's definitely a strong leader. And I commend her for her example that she sets on the council as far as her research, her diligence, and the hard work, because definitely takes his job really seriously, and it shows. And so thank you. Thank you for, your leadership. Thank you for also being a friend. I appreciate it. And
Thank you.
congratulations, Judge Brown with the E. Many more great things to come. So keep on making us proud, making Mount Vernon proud. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Potteet.
Thank you, Council President. I guess this will be the last time I'm speaking here at City Council. It's been an interesting 4 years. I had the pleasure of running with Councilwoman Gleason and Councilman Brown. And 4 years ago, we said there were a few things that we want to get done. I'm actually happy we got them done. The comprehensive plan that everyone talked about during our campaign, done. Memorial Field, during our tenure on council, opened. The city council was able to support the mayor fixing our infrastructure. We don't talk a lot about our sewers anymore because it's in process, but we were talking a lot about our sewers in 20 and 21 when there was a lot of stuff coming up from underground. So I'm very proud of the work that we got done. Obviously, there's a lot more to be done. So I would humbly ask the new council persons as they're coming in to keep it going, right? There's a lot that needs to be done here in the city of Mount Vernon. A lot of progress that we still need to get done. So my prayer is that we keep on moving forward, hopefully moving forward even faster under your leadership to make this city better. I've often heard the saying that I bleed maroon and gold. I'm a transplant here. I've been here 15 years, but wasn't born here and did not go to school here. But after 4 years on council, I too bleed maroon and gold. So I'm very proud of the city, and I'm thankful for the work that we've done. And then just one other thing that I want to say for Council President Brown. When we made her council president 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we were excited because she was the youngest city council person ever. And that was a thing. And the hope was she would be a good council president as young as she was. The reason why we elected you the second time wasn't because you were the youngest city council president. You were just good. So thank you for your leadership. And I look forward to seeing you as Judge Brown and seeing how much work that you're going to do here in the city. Thank you all. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. If I was a crier, I would cry. Councilman-elect, would you like to say anything? Okay, Councilwoman-elect, would you like to say anything? All right, I guess this is my drop the mic moment. It's kind of surreal that tonight is my last meeting as a member of the city council. I remember trekking around with Caitlin and Ed, knocking on doors, begging for votes, and discussing with residents exactly what Councilman Potteet said. Some of the issues, some of the things we wanted to get done, and I grew up in Mount Vernon. This is home for me. I actually bleed maroon and gold. I don't know what Ed's talking about, but I went to the high school, those things, but it to have the opportunity to sit on this dais and to serve as council president twice is something that I never took lightly. It's been an honor. It's been a responsibility that I've carried very seriously. I think, I share frustrations. In my head, the city would have moved faster at a quicker rate. But I think we honestly did the best we could. We put in effort. And I have so much gratitude for every single council member that is here. Uh, we have a comedian in Councilman Thompson. But from the very beginning, I don't think anyone knows this, Councilman Thompson was one of the first people to ask me to run for city council back in 2021. So I'm grateful to you for seeing it before I saw it. Okay, don't get carried away, Councilman. And believe it in me. And to Javon, I think what the public gets confused often is they think that we always agree. And the truth is, I disagree with my council members all of the time, and I disagree strongly, right? But it's never a personal thing, and I actually take pride in that. I've never once had to call a council member out of their name. I've never had to mention a family member, because what it really is about the business. And I think one of I won't mention who told me, but someone said to me, the thing about politics is that you have a bunch of people who think they have the best idea on how to move the city forward. And they're not trying to be malicious or anything, but ideas differ. And I think as a group, we've been able to have disagreements, but still do this job well in collaboration. And I think if you're going to do this job honestly, there's going to be disagreements, right? So I really hope that, as Councilman Potteet said, that this work is continued with Councilman Walz and Councilwoman Turnquest Jones. I hope that we keep moving this city forward. I'm grateful for the mayor's collaboration, for the comptroller's collaboration, and really all of our elected officials in moving this city forward. I think what we have done, we've learned that it's bigger than any one person. And I hope that we stay on the path to continue to move this city forward. Before I end, I do want to say thank you to the city staff. So much of this work that keeps the city moving forward happens quietly, right? Without recognition. I've, always believed that good governance starts with respecting the people who are doing the work every day. And I've been able to build working relationships with all of the commissioners here, with staff members here, and I can call people at 9, 10 o'clock at night and get a call because they understand that I'm trying to get the work of the city done. So I appreciate that. I have to give a special acknowledgement to our city clerk staff and our legislative assistant because those are the only personnel that's actually under the city council's purview. And if I'm being quite honest, the city clerk's office runs impeccably. They essentially trained me in the beginning, right? They knew all the rules. They, helped me become the council person that I am. So I thank them for their professionalism, their consistency, and just the commitment to the people and answering the phones. If I can say one thing about the city clerk's office, you can call them and you would always get an answer. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm sentimental. Being in public service in the city of Mount Vernon is not for the faint of heart. This job definitely requires resilience, patience, a real commitment to work. And it's definitely not popular or easy, but I'm grateful that the city of Mount Vernon and the residents trusted me to get this stuff done. And I want to thank my biggest fan who's in the audience tonight, who just thought it was necessary to come to my last city council meeting, my mom, and she's definitely been on this journey with me. Sometimes you say, why am I doing this? I have a full career. Why do I have to get beat up all the time? And my mom is reminding me why I decided to run for this position. So Mount Vernon, I promise you emotional intelligence. I promise you a different tone. I promise to stop the tribalism, the public infighting, and I've tried to deliver. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate all of you. It's like another basketball team. I feel like I joined another team. So thank you guys. All right, mic dropped and
Pardon me, am I a player on the basketball team?
no, you're the water girl, Councilman Gleason, but good try. Any additional comment from council?
Just as we prepare to close the meeting, I want you to just keep my family in your prayers. My mother's sister, Gwen Seward, passed away. So keep my family in your prayers, as well as the Scott family. Corey Scott Sr. passed away, so keep that family in your prayers as well as we close. That's all. So if we can do a moment of silence at the end.
My condolences.
Thank you.
Hey, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a
adjourn
motion
my
to
last
adjourn.
meeting On city council. Second,
Councilwoman Gleason, let me give that to Councilman Potteet. Can you say it in the mic this time,
I
please?
appreciate it. I would like to adjourn my last city council meeting. So moved.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilwoman Gleason.
Hey,
One last time, I promise.
oh my goodness. Aye.
Thank you. Councilman Potteet,
Aye.
Councilman Thompson.
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye. Have a great night, Mount Vernon. Oh, moment of silence before we. Thank you, Mount Vernon. Have a great night.